Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to welcome you again to another episode of Fixasport the podcast, and I believe it is episode 11. Yes, we're gonna keep going and going and going and going. Man, I have to tell you, we haven't had a lot to discuss recently, so we've been kind of talking about the shit that's going on around the world in pop culture, and we mainly focus on sports. So we're gonna do something different this time, man, right? And we're just gonna start with our bread and butter, supposedly, man, or allegedly. That's what they say. So why not? Why not start there? Why not start off with a huge congratulations to the La Liga champions, newly crowned La Liga champions, man. The Real Madrid side, Dude, thinking about the season that they had, right? I mean, Barcelona recovered. That when COVID hit, and one of the quotes from Real Madrid's president, I think it's Florentino Perez, was like, we won't exist in 2024. That was his quote, meaning that the situation was so bad. I mean, they were releasing players left, right, and center, right? But they managed to get a bargain deal in terms of management. Carlo Ancelotti leaves Everton. That's a story for later in the podcast, So Carlo Ancelotti leaves Everton and moves on to Real Madrid, right? So now this whole team is assembled, right? Barcelona is struggling, and Real Madrid managed to maintain their form in the league. I mean, maybe it was an over-exaggeration by the president, but the other teams are having trouble. I mean, the closest, this was the season where the closest rivals was Sevilla, right? Which meant that probably Atletico Madrid were out of the picture, Barcelona out of the picture. Who would be, I guess, Real Sociedad, because they were challenging last season. They were out of the picture, right? And credit to the champions, man. They did the job. And the players really came through for them, Credit to the players as well. Fucking wonderful job that they did in the Spanish league, man. Right? The señores and the señoritas, No, that's from Mexico, right? The Mask of Zorro is from Mexico, I think, right? Not from Spain. I don't know, I'm not sure. Might be from Spain. What's the difference, man? Anyway. But yeah. So they get their title, man, and it makes, and all around the news is going around that Carlo Ancelotti now has his 5th title, I believe, in his 5th different European top flight league, which is an astonishing achievement, something that you'd want to, wouldn't be too bad to have ticked on the bucket list, to have France, Spain, England, Italy, and Germany, domination, right? Dominating. So yeah. Shout out to Real Madrid, man, and notable honorable mentions, other than the whole team, like we said. Vinicius Jr., man, future Ballon d'Or, man, you know what I mean? Which, dude, Vinicius Jr. is in so much form that you have to consider him, you have to put him in. He's a show starter, for the Brazilian national squad when they finally go to the Qatar World Cup, man, right? In November, I believe, right? So he's a show starter. But however, the dude plays on the left. He's a left forward, right? And that's the same position that, the most expensive player in world history, right? Neymar Jr., another junior, yeah. He plays there, so it's gonna be an interesting challenge for the Brazilian national team manager to manage that, about how that's gonna work, because you have two world number ones, right, in the same position. So one of them is gonna have to take up the forward position, and that means that because Brazil doesn't have so much, as center forward comes. I think the number one center forward at the moment is Richarlison, and he plays for Everton. Like I said, man, we're going to discuss this later in the show, But anyway, they're not doing pretty well, right? I mean, you'd have Vinicius or Neymar playing striker if you had that problem. But anyway, it's going to be interesting what the manager does. Does that change our top favorites list for the World Cup? Not really. But he's the type of player like Mbappe did in the 2018 World Cup, I believe. Right? He's the type of player that could take it by the scruff of the neck alone, man, right, and just go at it, right, unstoppable. Combine that, dude, you have two players guaranteed that can dribble past three players, right, and you have two of them. You've practically dribbled past like half of your opponent. You know what I mean? So it's that simple, right? Is that why you're the pundit? And they're the managers, man, right? But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Fuck that shit, right? So yeah, honorable mentions to Vinicius Jr. and the Real Madrid squad. Brazil, who's our favorites for the World Cup? We had four. We had Harry Kane. We had England, because Harry Kane has been at Tottenham, has been at their league has been playing top goal scorer, top assist, and the dude doesn't have a trophy. So wouldn't it be cool that he gets the first trophy he gets, the only trophy he gets, or maybe the first trophy he gets rather? Don't want to jinx the guy, man. Right, the first trophy he gets is like a World Cup. That would be dope. So England are one of our favorites for that. Even though they fucking botched the Euro 2020 competition, or 2021, I don't know what it was. I think it's 2021 competition, right? Even though they botched that to a team that's not even in the World Cup at the moment, right? Team that didn't even qualify, right? For the most premier international football competition in the world. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of weird, man. Anyway, yeah. Number two, Argentina, right? Just for it would be dope for any writer if the great Lionel Messi could, solidify that greatest of all time, spot with a major international. It would be a hard thing to do. It's a hard ask, but they came close in the World Cup before the one that was in Russia, right? And so might try, but these number three, I believe we have Senegal, because we have to have an African team in the squad, man, right? In the picks, and they looking to be the strongest side and the side that has the most confidence, especially because like Egypt are out of the World Cup because of Senegal, right? However, we stressed in the previous podcast episode that both these teams, the top strikers play are the top strikers in one team in the English Premier League, which is Liverpool. And I'm talking about Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, the Egyptian, right? So it's a huge confidence boost for Sadio Mane that he's playing in the World Cup and Mo Salah is not there. I'm not saying anything about that, man. Right? Don't take it personally, right? I'm just saying, like, for confidence on his side, that's a massive boost. That's a very massive boost, and right, and so they also in the run for the quadruple, which means 4 major titles in one season. Never been done before. So if they get that done, that's a triple-fold confidence, and then, hopefully that will kind of match up with Mane's abilities as a centre forward, and we'll have a proper team on our hands. I'm talking about one player, but other than that, the squad is kind of solid. They have a solid manager, right? I just forgot his name, but yeah. Dude, they're the African champions, man. Fuck. Like, what more do you want me to say? They don't have lasers in their eyes. Oh, shit! What? Oh, man. But it's, yeah. Dude, it's what it is, But like we said, the lasers in Mo Salah's eyes was like crazy. But anyway. So yeah, and the fourth team, I believe, was France, because you cannot discount the former champions. It will be, fantastic for them to go back to back. That would be incredible, man. Right? Could you imagine Kylian Mbappe winning 2 World Cups in a row? God damn. The only thing missing is just like 3 Ballon d'Ors, and man, you have a strong case. God damn. Right? You have a strong case. But yeah. So we might switch it. We might switch out one team. We don't think so. We might add one team. Because we can do whatever the fuck we want. It's our podcast, right? It's ours, guys, right? And add the USA. And it's gonna be an interesting World Cup for the USA. The soccer players, right? In the same group as the football players, right? Plowing forward, right? Yeah. So we're talking about title races and the La Liga champions, Real Madrid. Congratulations, right? Other than the other leagues, German league, I mean, the Bayern Munich ran away with that, right? They ran away with it like, dude, right? At one point, I thought they had a hoodie on, right? At one point, I thought they had their backs turned, They didn't resist or nothing like that, but they fucking ran away with that shit. Unfortunately, fortunately, no one was able to shoot them down, even though they fluffed a couple of games, but they do this because like they have the point advantage. So I guess in this day and age of sports, man, right? It's understandable, I guess. I was speaking. I was speaking to a friend earlier on about this and about how, like how much really does like sports betting like influence the game itself, and well, our viewpoint is quite obvious, right? But he was like, then it kind of like messes up the game. And to be honest, my first rebuttal was like, nah, if it's done proper, it's like dope. But then 2 seconds later, I actually agreed with him. I mean, I couldn't think of like how you would actually like do this properly, without screwing over people, basically. You know what I mean? But the banks exist as well, and man, I guess you gotta just pick your poison. Man, and yeah. But hopefully it will be better and not too, because during the Euro 2020 competition, it felt like they were experimenting with how we're gonna do this, because every time they said, or they announced that a team has COVID, and the team had a crucial game the next day. The team, let's just say they didn't make it, man, right? They didn't make it, I don't know. It's quite crazy. But yeah, it is what it is. So Bayern run away with the Bundesliga, right? And I tell you what, the Uber Eats League that PSG took as well, And in all fairness, they're not parading that trophy, Lionel Messi's not up in selfies with the trophy, the league trophy, because I think they kind of knew, it was kind of if you're in the Uber Eats League and the Farmers League, which is the Bundesliga and the French League respectively, right? I mean, in those leagues, and you're not making quarterfinals of Premier European football, and you're winning those leagues by miles, you're basically having disappointing seasons. And at the end of the season, you're going to be like, I should be player of the year, man. I didn't even make it, but I scored 100 goals, man. Right? In a match where they expect me to score more than 3 goals, man, after halftime, right? Right. In matches where teams fall. But anyway, they're plowing forward. So La Liga has recovered, right? It was a bit tight for Real Madrid, I'll tell you that. It wasn't an easy accomplishment. It wasn't an easy thing to do. In their standards, at their levels, right? It wasn't, it ain't no mean feat, right? But yeah, I tell you what's really tight, some Italian pussy, man. No, the Italian league, yo. Right? I mean, it's back and forth. Inter Milan, AC Milan, Napoli have fallen off a bit, I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, if you're chasing the league title and you go in 2-0 in halftime, and then come lose the game 3-0 after halftime, I guess you kind of want to fall off, the title race, right? So that leaves the 2 Milans, man. Right, AC and Inter respectively, man. Right, each league, it leaves them there. And I don't think the point difference is that much. I think it's 4. Okay, it's a bit much. However, the team below, I think it's Inter. It has actually, I should just check, right? I should just check over here in the Googles, man. Right. No, it's not EPL. What is it? It is Syria, like a serious A-League, man. A-League is the Australian league. Anyway, so the league table is basically looking like AC Milan is number 1, right? They played 35 matches, right? 77 points, right? Number 2, Inter Milan, right? They've played the same amount of matches, and they're just 2 points behind, 2 points behind. Who has the better goal difference? I'm not sure. It doesn't quite show yet. It doesn't even show. I don't think it's gonna show. But yeah, 2-point difference, man. That's close and that's interesting. That's almost as that's entertaining. So we would watch. Those are teams I want to bet on, right? Those teams that you want to bet on. Just like the title race that's happening in England, So who's the top goal scorer in the Serie A, man? 27 goals. Ciro Immobile plays for Lazio, right? Has 27 goals and he's number 1, right? And Lazio is number 5 in the. Is that a reflection? I don't know, because the 2 top teams we're talking about, I think they're only 1 player out of the whole 2 squads is in the top 3 goal scorers, and that's Lautaro Martinez, who's 17 goals. 17 goals, and which is interesting. It's a team sport, after all, right? After all, so yeah, a good title race in for the Italians there, right? And if you tune in, I hope you came around. I hope the listeners and new listeners, if you are new, please like and subscribe, right? Do the usual things, right? Yeah, I hope you guys are tuning in to live entertainment, which is sport entertainment, right? And good competitions to watch, like we say, will be the Serie A. We just mentioned it, the UEFA Champions League, right? The fucking they're as good at the moment as I would say the NBA playoffs. If you're American, right? If you're white. Oh no. If you're liberal, you're probably angry at me that I said that. Or if you're just American, man, because if you're South American, you love sport for sure, right? If you're North American, you also love sport, right? So I hope you came around and stopped watching those fucking stimulus, eye shocking, brain turning, right? Movies, addictive movies. But yeah, that's better, man. Fuck. Just listen to our previous episode and they don't take that out of context, right? So you watch that, you watch the English Premier League, because that race is fucking tight. You know what's happening there. If you don't know, we'll get into it. Right? But before we get into the title race for the English Premier League, how about top 4? Right? The race for European football, right? Getting into the matches, we had, if you guys don't know by now, we have match picks that you can follow along with, put $100 or $10 on each one of those, and then you probably you most definitely 7 times out of 10 get a profit. Why am I saying 7 times out of 10? Because, man, the past 3 days, football, sport days, right, it was fucking horrible, man. It was fuck, right? You basically lost $200 if you put $100 on every game, right, on the past 3 days. So you lost $600 in total, man, right? It's fucking bad. But we gotta recover, man, right? Gotta come back. Nursing that knee, going to surgery and shit like that. Pull a Christian Eriksen on him. Hopefully, hoping no one will tackle us. Right? But anyway. Sure, so top 4 race, Arsenal beat West Ham, and bear in mind that Arsenal are the team that wants European football. West Ham are the team that is currently in a European spot. Playing European football, right? In the knockout stages of the finals, right? But I believe they have a second leg tie to play against Saint Eintracht Frankfurt, and they are goal down thank God there's no away goals rule, man. Right? Because they're just a goal down. The score ended 2-1. Good performance though by West Ham. So it would be a challenging, dude. If they can get past that, they winning this cup. Fuck it. If West Ham gets past the Frankfurt sides, right? Of Mr. Moyes, the knighted one, right? He's taking that trophy, bro. He ain't even gonna see the final, because that's why they say the most difficult game is the semi-final. And I'm finally getting to understand that, because you have 2 legs. I mean, in the final you have 1 leg, so you can just do whatever, But in the semi-final you have like 2 legs, in the quarter-final and the last 16, as well as the group stages. So yeah, but they get beat by Mikel Arteta's side, right? I believe on Instagram, where we release our picks, we had West Ham to win or draw, right? To get the win or at least draw the game, man, right? Shit. But yeah, they couldn't do that. They went in Arsenal went 1-0 ahead before halftime. West Ham managed to pull a goal back, but I feel that maybe Arsenal wanted it more, and they basically not snuck in a goal, but it was a proper goal, right? And they took the 3 points. Left David Moyes asking questions about the handball that was supposed to be given as a penalty, which according to them, they say was a blatant handball, and according to CCTV camera evidence, man, what a redundant. Yeah, it was a blatant handball by Holding, I believe the player was. But yeah, Arsenal take the 3 points. They solidify their place, man. Mikel Arteta's side in their race, their challenge for against Tottenham, who are basically looking to be the only rivals at this moment for that European spot, right? Because United's management was basically like, yeah, that's impossible for us now, right? Even though it was not mathematically impossible, but he was like, nah, that's done, Mr. Ralph, right? Anyway, West Ham, yeah, European match. I believe they have it on Thursday. Looking forward to that one, man. I hope that we do some live commentary for one of these matches, yo. I hope we do, because it's been a while, right? And so where we exercise, man, right? So we get our juices flowing, right? Like that shit, right? But why would you listen to me if they already doing it? Cause I say fuck shit, man, right? Yeah. Man City, right? The Etihad boys, the oil boys, the first class boys, right? By the way, I was watching that Mike Tyson. Granted, I've never been in a first class cabin, right? But I was watching the Mike Tyson video of where he was pounding that dude, right? Where he didn't even looked like he scratched him, right? But he didn't, Anyway, yeah, and I heard a comment that said that was a first class seat, right? And I was like, whoa, cause that, it looked like coach for I guess it would be. I only flew SAA, right? South African Airways. It looked like coach, and I was surprised. What? That's first class, man. Look, dude, my high school bus seat had more space than that. Really? It wasn't because you were hogging 3 seats, man, right? Now I was pretty chilled, I let some people sit if they needed to sit, but it's what it is, man, right? You have to earn your dues, man. It was a long trip, 36 minutes every day. Not even 36 minutes, bro. An hour trip every day. Could you imagine that shit, right? Never mind the road, dude. You know? Credit to those drivers, man. Those drivers were fucking perfect. No one time where they like a bus fell over the cliff, right? Because that was a long way down, and believe you me, there is cliffs like everywhere. Like everywhere. Like the first like 10, the first 8 miles, you know, is like a cool climb. Yo, I tell you what, the next 17, 20 miles, to these cliffs. Left, right, right. Dude, and there was this one time, like later on, I remember on like a steep climb where you just came out of the bridge and you had to like curve to the left, right? And then there's a whole, you know, and there's just a fucking like a metal barricade, right? That's supposed to keep the bus from like, if God forbid anything went wrong, from going over, right? I mean, that barricade was so thin, bruh. A bicycle could bend that shit, you know, going uphill, right? If a bicycle hit that barricade going uphill, I guarantee you, that shit would need repairs. Right? So anyway, later on, I guess a pothole developed, right? Just outside the bridge, when you're about to curve into the left, a pothole developed there, right? And the bus driver just keeps on hitting it like every fucking morning, right? And dude, that pothole fucking shakes that fucking bus, yo. You know? Dude, talk about turbulence, my guy. Right? Holy shit. But yeah. Yeah. Enough about world's deadliest moments before you get to class. Right? Before you learn about math. Right? Fuck. Shit. Right? But anyway, it was a trip. But like, you get used to shit, bro. I realize this shit, right? So I want to go to like deserts, you know, I want to live out in the wild for like, you know, like do survival man type of shit, because like I believe the human body can get used to like, you know, there was this like one other doctor where it was like the body practices everything, like basically everything from, I don't know, like everything, man, like you practice everything, you know. Maybe from how you sit to how you think to like how you work, to work ethic. I think you to the point where you practice work ethic, to the point where you're good at working hard, right? I don't know, right? You practice thinking to the point that you're good at thinking, right? You should have practiced math more often, yeah. Dude, yeah. Well, true. I just didn't give a fuck, right? I just didn't give a fuck. I was angry at the fucking system, but I thought that system was like the white administration at the school. I thought that was the system, right? You know, because they kind of like chased me out of class for making like jokes or talking to like someone. I don't know. You know, I thought it was, dude. Like I'm so dumb that like basically my final exam, right? I just wanted to prove to the system that it was so stupid. Like I just wanted to prove to school that like it was so stupid that my final exam, basically the exam that you leave high school, right? I was like, fuck, you know, dude, I didn't have any books for like half the year, for the rest of the year, like from July to like I didn't have no fucking book. I was like, dude, I'm gonna go in there like a fucking champion, man, right? I mean, it worked. I mean, I didn't get like, you know, scientist prodigy marks or shit like that, but I got like, dude, I got like, you know, what, lawyer marks, right? If you did an extra year, you would do law, right? I mean, that's the kind of marks I got, and I didn't have like, dude, like for the whole year, bro. I was like, dude, I was just gonna let's see what they told me. Like, how good are these teachers? Because I'm paying the school fees, right? You're supposed to be teachers, so how good are you? I should have, you know, the required information I need to get through this, right? And credit to the teachers, I did, you know. Some things you just have to practice, like maths and like science and physics and shit like that, you know. You just have to do that. I'm learning that via what I do, like IT shit now. So, like programming shit, man. Like, you just have to practice that shit like day in, day out, or like as much as you can, really, you know. To the point you get the gist of enough about your life, man. Talking about sports here. Episode 11, ladies and gentlemen, of the Fixasport Podcast. Yeah. So Man City, right? If you guys are unaware, I hope you are, because you heard it here first, right? In the English Premier League, they get the job done, right? Against Leeds, and they were convincing. Like, they put 4 goals, you know, they put 4 goals past Leeds, and to be honest, it was a difficult game for them because Leeds knew that if they lost that game, there was a possibility that they were going to be dragged into the relegation battle, and that panned out. It, you know, that's what happened. They got it right, you know, and you know, so it was a difficult match for City. They needed to do it, and they needed to do it like convincingly, right? And they did. To the point where like it's getting to a point where you're looking at both of these teams, Manchester City and Liverpool, and you're like, fuck, I don't think any of these teams are going to lose any game from here on out, right? I don't think they're even going to draw any game from this point out, you know? I mean, the only like glitch you could see would be like Steven Gerrard, for some weird reason at the back of his mind, being like, I gotta avenge what I did, right? The fucking slip, right? For some reason, and then give City a hard time, maybe pull out a draw, right? Which would mean if Liverpool wins like all their games, I mean, then they're champions, man. And like Gerrard, I guess, is a hero, right? But then you'd have a City and Liverpool final, and Pep would want that shit for real, and that would be like that would be one of the matches of the season, one of the greatest matches in history, maybe. But every final is like that. Like every fucking Champions League final goes down in history, like each one. So yeah. So both these teams, man, like they just fucking bullet trains, getting the job done. I mean, Liverpool, the previous game to a lesser extent, I mean, they just like got one goal, you know, past the comfortable Newcastle United, and then they were like, maybe we dope, you know. Didn't do much more. I mean, Newcastle didn't, you know, I guess didn't put up that much of a fight, right? I mean, this is a team that was basically going to get relegated or in the relegation position like a few, you know, 10 games ago, right? 10 games ago, new manager, right? And all that shit. So, dude, credit to Eddie Howe for Manchester United, you know? I mean, fuck, they wish, right? Oh, shit. Right. No, credit to Eddie Howe for the job he's done, you know, at Newcastle. That is not an easy job, knowing that the funding that the team has, knowing that if you do this job, they might want a better manager next season, right? Because they would already want better players. But yeah, that's a good disciplined job by Eddie Howe, man. It's a joy just watching the team, yo. Even when it's like losing to City, Newcastle, even when Newcastle loses to Liverpool, it's a joy to watch them. Really, you know, it's a joy to watch. They have a good number 10, and when you have a good number 10, you always have a chance, man. You always have a a chance to retain some fans, man. Right? God knows we're not doing that. Anyway, don't be so negative, Abby. Anyway. So yeah. Leeds fall like into the relegation battle, because of City. Newcastle not, right? Which is funny because you would expect Newcastle to get beaten 4-0. Because there's no there's no repercussion for that, right? But however, for Leeds, wouldn't it be like, dude, it would be to just imagine if Leeds went out of the English Premier League because of goal difference, right? Because Burnley had a better goal difference than them by 1 goal or something, because they didn't get beat by City 4-0, right? I mean, just clip it at 2-0, man. Right? Shit. Oh, I see what it is. So maybe, now I get it. I think Manchester City is trying to bang in goals because Liverpool, even though they're 1 point behind, they have a better goal difference. Right? I think by 6-7 goals or something like that. You know what I mean? And should it happen that City draw a game and Liverpool lose a game, and Liverpool draw 2 games, right? You'd have a situation where goal difference would probably come into play, and fuck, imagine coming up against that, Yeah. So yeah, Liverpool wrapped up their game against Newcastle in like 18 minutes, leaving the table looking like number 1, 83 points, Manchester City, right? And number 2, 82 points, Liverpool, man. And like we say, we just don't see any team not winning a game from this point on. But you know what happens when people say that? Like, it's all a jinx now, yeah? It's a fucking jinx, man. Right? So yeah, teams to fucking bet on: Man City, Liverpool, AC Milan, Inter Milan. Nothing Bundesliga unless we're talking relegation. Nothing Uber Eats League unless we're talking relegation. And not to throw shade, nothing La Liga unless we're talking relegation, right? And some top 4 amidst of that, amidst of that. So yeah, the English Premier League table at the bottom there is looking pretty tight. It's looking pretty tight because you have out of the 3 teams. So any fucking way, right? I'm sorry, to pause because the people that take care of the cows, man, right, came to charge their phones because they have no electricity where they stay, So I do that. I facilitate the chargings of the phones. Tell you what, it's not a bad job. It's not a bad job, man. Right? Yeah. One of them wants to let me not go into. But anyway, yeah, I was talking about the fucking Premier League relegation spots, and we're like, yo, the team out of the 3 teams, right? One of them has to go. Because the bottom 2 are already done and dusted, right? So above them, you have the top 3 teams. You have 3 teams above them, and the furthest one has 34 points, which I believe is Burnley, surprisingly, right? Not only did Leeds get dragged into the relegation spot, but the relegation fight, but they got dragged below a team that they were way, way, way above. Way above. Because of goal difference. right? So it's Burnley with 34 points, and below them is Leeds with 34 points, right? And surprise, surprise, we finally got him, man. Mr. Frank Lampard's Everton, they pull off a win against Chelsea. I mean, it was in our picks, Dude, he's like a former legend there, man. You think they're not gonna just hook him up, right? So he pulls off a 1-0 surprise, quote-unquote, win, right? From his former side, which is a much-needed win, because if he won that game against Chelsea and he's still in the relegation fight, just imagine if he lost it, right? That would be relegation done and dusted. But anyway, he pulls off 3 points from that game, and he's still in a tight spot with 2 points below the teams. 2 points below the teams on top of him. No homo. With only a game in hand. I mean, if he wins the game on paper, right? If the league ended like that, Everton will be safe just by the skin of their teeth. Every teacher used to say that for some reason. Just by this, you just made by the skin of your teeth. What the fuck? I can't fuck me. Leave me alone. I'm wondering how many children look at me pretending to be a fucking victim. No, I was a fucking nuisance, bro. You know what I mean? Dude. Oh, enough about me. Anyway, so yeah, a game in hand. If it ended like this and Everton won their game in hand, they would survive. However, it's not gonna end like this. There's still 4 games to play, right? Whose fixtures are looking to be the hardest? I would say Leeds. Leeds United's fixtures are proving to be hardest, because which game are you gonna win? Right? Which game are you gonna win? However, we will have match picks on these 3 teams, right? Everton, Leeds, Burnley, FC, right? Check them out on our Instagram at Fixasport, and just put, like I said, just put $10 in every game, On every match day, you'll come out with a fucking profit. I 70% guarantee it. So guess what, people, fans around the world, followers, new listeners, right? I mean, they told you to get into F1 this season, man, right? And we mentioned that it's so fucking interesting, man, that if you're not driving a Honda engine, man, right, your only hope is that it crashes, right? I mean, that's been Sebastian Vettel's trademark in recent seasons. I mean, since he's been driving the Aston Martin car, 007, I mean, that's a dream F1 car to drive, right? I don't know if he's sticking true to the James Bond film script, but he crashes in every race. If he doesn't crash, he wins best driver of the race. If he crashes, and he's out, And the thing is that he's driving the same V engine or W engine as the Mercedes, Which is funny, because Mercedes and Aston Martins are to me, historically, just fat cars with powerful engines, I mean, what's the point of making such a powerful engine if you're just gonna make the fucking car so heavy that it needs to use half the fuel tank just to get off the line, That's why I'm a Bavarian Motorworks fan, right? They don't try to pretty up their car and heavy it up with all these electric motors and different designs on their fucking seats, 6 fucking layers of paint, right? all for some dude to fucking come wrap some plastic around it, you know? I'm preserving it, man. Right? There's nothing against like rapping, you know? Yeah. If I had a car, I'd rap my car, you know? If I had an M5 with a V10 engine inside and it was still in pristine condition, I wouldn't give a fuck about rap. I just wouldn't. But I get why you do it. Yeah. I mean, I guess I just like don't like the ones that have like all this like kind of Need for Speed paint job. I mean, it's like basically like having a fake tattoo, you know? I mean, just make it plain. I mean, the car was painted plain. Just make the rap plain, right? Why make it like all graphic, like you fucking a graffiti artist or some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? I hope this shit was recording, you know, because it seems like something was wrong there. But anyway, you know, why rap graffiti around the car? If you want to do that, just spray paint it. Just spray paint, be real, and spray paint the graffiti on, man. Alright? Don't be a fucking punk, you fucking vapor. You know? Oh, that was a real personal one, man. Yeah. I mean, the same people that will say weed is bad will like smoke a hookah for like 8 hours, you know? Dude, like I don't get. And why would you smoke a hookah? You're basically smoking coal. Dude, smoking a hookah would be like smoking a cigarette, but only I just have, you know, the lighter on. And it's not even like releasing flame, it's just releasing gas, right? I just have the lighter on at the end, you know, every time. Just fucking pulling on that lighter gas. Right? I don't get it. Like, fuck. Don't you get that the smoke is coming from the coal? You're smoking coal! Smoking fucking coal. Right? And some douche is gonna come up with internet fact like, you know what? I fucking Googled it and it said like smoking hookah is like 100%. Shut the fuck up! You know? It's like healthier. Dude, smoking coal, man. Right? On top of that, you have a wet nicotine, right? Anyway, dude, and then, dude, I stopped smoking like hookah when, oh, actually no, I never really did smoke like hookah, you know? I mean, and like, you know, dude, you have to. What kind of a habit is that you need a whole like fucking suitcase? You know, you can't just go. Dude, imagine going around the corner at a game and trying to set up your hookah for like, you know, you're like, hey, dude, it's half time. Let's just go around the corner real quick. You know, fucking get this thing lit, right? And man, the shit they do to make sure, right, that the coal smoke that they're gonna inhale is of pristine directional condition, right? These, you know, a certain way you break the coal, right? Fucking dusters, dude, like fucking have a whole instrument, man. Anyway. At least y'all is not punks though, you know? Unlike these vapors. Fucking vapor. You know? Burn your neck like a real man, man. Burn your throat like a real man, man. Right? You know who doesn't smoke? Athletes. You know? Most athletes. Dude, have you ever watched a soccer game, man, and like you have an athlete and then like 15 minutes into the game they're sweating, but like you can just see like the circle of sweat around their chest. You know, I bet you those are the smokers, man. I bet you that's how you like know like who this football athletes are, you know? Especially like when they playing soccer or football, you know? It's when they're like 20 minutes into a game and they you know, that sweat just builds around like the center of their chest. You know, and just wets their t-shirts. You know? I mean their forehead isn't even like not a drip. Right? Yeah. I mean, could you imagine if you had a clause on your contract that said like you're not allowed to smoke and you know? Anyway, let's move forward, people. So people that do live a healthy lifestyle, right, at prime condition, I don't even think like a single athlete was like affected by corona or like died from the coronavirus, right? That dude, the people that didn't die from coronavirus are the people that have been smoking their whole entire lives, or that have smoked, you know, that their lungs have taken in all types of toxins possible, right, and still managed to keep going, right? And the people that are just in such primal shape, yo, that their kids in 20 years are gonna be the superhumans, right? And all of us are just gonna like, dude, you're gonna be, you know, just gonna falter in their magnificence, right? Could you imagine like all these athletes, bro, when they have children and like when the kids have, dude, you know, creating like superhumans, dude. Right? Anyway. Oh yeah, the F1. We were talking about that. It's coming to Miami. The next race, you know, is in the beach cities of Miami, man. Right? The place that I think it influenced Vice City, the Grand Theft Auto game. You know, that for some reason they say, oh, that for some reason is making kids fucking shoot up schools, buy prostitutes and pop pills, man. I thought those were like old Eminem tapes, but that's just me. Shit, right? I'm Slim Shady and I'm the real Shady. You're Slim Shady's. Right. Anyway, yeah. So F1 is coming to Miami, and it's going to be an interest, dude. Like F1 this season is entertaining, man. Like, yeah. It's like the cars have beefed up their engines, dude. I saw an article of Toto Wolff coming out and saying that they can do a lot more with their engine, and that's a bold statement coming from him, you know, who has his driver's car at 14th place the last time, you know. I don't even think he was in the race, right? That's a pretty bold statement, because at this point that just means that you're going to use NOS, dude. I tell you what, after that statement, right, if Mercedes is like in the top 3 in podium like places, dude, there is some NOS going on in that car, dude. I tell you what, the Germans are just on some other level, because, dude, the Red Bull cars are fucking fast, man. The Honda and the Japanese know what they fucking doing. You know what I mean? They know how to work that shit. If their driver could just not crash, you know, all the time, they will be in there. You know? Because if Verstappen hadn't had crashes, you know, this Grand Prix season, right? If he didn't have crashes, like Ferrari wouldn't be number 1. But however, dude, Ferrari's drivers, Carlos Sainz, right? Oh, Carl Leclerc, yo, what a drive, dude! To just watch F1, man. Just watch F1. It's fucking, you know, one would say more action than MotoGP. Although I never understood, I never like really got into MotoGP because it's like bikes, you know. Yeah, I mean, like that's, you know, it's bikes. You know, there's something to that, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, Formula One. I catch that. Like a lot is happening in American sports. A lot of entertainment going on. The Yankees, man, right, are playing the Blue Jays, number 1 and 2, right, are playing each other, man. After like the Blue Jays swept the Boston Red Sox, dude, like the Boston Red Sox. I don't know if they're having like a horrible beginning to the season, or I don't know what's happening there, or are they just being? Is it just, are they just playing? Are they just not playing well, right? Because if like the Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays are number 1 and 2, I think the Boston Red Sox are like number 5, right? Maybe this could work in their favor, because they're not such favorites anymore. I don't know, but it's they got swept. But anyway, number 1 and 2 are playing each other, and it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to that series, right? That 4-game series, unless they're gonna fucking blow out one team in the first 2-3 games and just decide to play the last game, in the middle of the next month or something like that. I don't know. Right? The Mariners too, number 2 and 3, facing up against the Astros, who I believe are number 3. Yeah, they're in position 3. So that's also a tight game. That I also want to watch. The Mariners just got beat. We're not betting on the Mariners to win, but we're rooting for the Mariners to win the game after that loss against the Miami Marlins, man. I can't believe the Miami Marlins are above the Mariners. It's but I have to believe it, man, because that's what it is, right? That's what it is. Talking about entertainment, right? The NBA playoffs, right? I mean, the first round playoffs was the shit, right? That was like, dude, I wouldn't blame Mr. Paul Verzi for supporting the New York Knicks again after what happened to the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, what happened to the Brooklyn Nets was, it was nasty, man. Dude, they got beat so bad. Dude, they got beat, man. Right? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Taking a sip of my coffee there. Black. No sugar, man. Right? Because I like it. There's no fucking, is it a pronoun I can think of that wouldn't sound wrong in that, because I like it cold. I like my coffee cold, which is a weird thing, man. Like, I have this tendency of just like leaving coffee to like, or just forgetting it. I don't know if that's deliberate or what. Just forgetting it and then like coming back and drinking it cold and some shit like that. But anyway, so yeah, I would support the New York Knicks again if I was Mr. Paul Verzi, right? Because I mean, dude, you're not as bad as that. You're not as bad as that. Or at least they all fuck up. They all fuck up. They all fuck up. Sure. Yeah, so we talked about the Boston Red Sox not having like a bad season, right? Kind of like Lewis Hamilton's season, However, we think that the Boston Red Sox, unlike Lewis Hamilton, we think that the Boston Red Sox could actually recover from the position they're in, right? Dude, game 1 of the playoffs, talking Milwaukee Bucks, I believe they were facing the Boston Celtics, and man, god damn, right? Dude, Giannis is just on another level, man. No, credit to the Boston Celtics for the 3-0, you know, like they landslide victory over the Brooklyn Nets for reaching like the second phase of the playoffs. But man, dude, Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? The dude plays basketball, man, right? Dude plays basketball, and I used to think that he was like overrated because he's too big. I was like, this dude's too big. Like, he's just moving like that because no, the guy can actually move. Dude, the guy is fucking going through soccer tackles during a basketball game and putting in dunks. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna talk about that little, kind of just the tabletop that he put the end there of the game, man. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Right? I mean, like both games, the Boston Celtics versus the Milwaukee Bucks, as well as the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Golden State Warriors. Both games were like equally entertaining, both amazing, of equal fucking proportions, man. Right, dude? I actually wasn't watching the game, the Warriors game, but I was watching the highlights, bro. And if you notice, at the end of the game, I think the Memphis Grizzlies are a point behind, right? So a 2 will seal. A point behind with 3 seconds on the clock left. So a point will seal this game, right? And immediately when they get the ball, the coach, I believe, calls a timeout, and you just see the frustration on the player that had the ball face, or like you just see the frustration because he just slams the ball down like fuck, right? Just slams it down into the ground, right? And that's his own coach that calls a timeout because there's 3 seconds left, right? And there's a 2-point conversion seals the game, right? If you play it well. So timeout is called and the dude slams the ball. So like going into there, that vibe is not good. So they come out of there and like the star player Ja Morant, I don't know, Ja, right? Sorry for butchering the dude's name. Ja has the ball, right? And he goes up for a layup, and it just like floats over the basket. Just like, and no player was close enough to get a rebound. Maybe they expected him to put it in. I don't know. But it was a hard way to lose the game, man. I just loved the fucking frustration on the players, from the players, because it's his own coach and there's 3 seconds left, man. You just need a 2-second conversion, dude. That's just classic. It's fucking classic, right? Like, fuck, I like fucking real emotion during like a fucking sporting event. You just can't buy that shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, looking forward to game 2. We'll be watching the Phoenix Suns, do their thing. I don't even know who they play. I should actually check. But I believe the Philadelphia 76ers are also playing. So yeah, those are our picks. The Phoenix Suns, I don't even know who they're playing, but that's one of the picks. And the Philadelphia 76ers to like get off the mark, get off the mark. Great games. Dude, I was tuning into like netball the other a couple of days ago, and I have to say, there's something about netball. Netball is quite dope, sorry, for females, right? It's quite dope because unlike basketball, like I used to like this netball, like, oh, why you gotta like step and not move, man, right? Just take one more step, just fucking be radical, man, right? I used to like tease them for that, but I get why. It's fucking elegant, man, right? Fucking ladies over there, like, you're not gonna get bumped over. I mean, Dude, even the way they go down, right? They go down. It's almost like they're going down in like fucking slow motion. I mean, I think the competition was like the Telcom League, sponsored by Telcom or something like that, right? Forgot the names, Sunbird something, and like, squeaky things and stuff, But like, yeah, dude, if I had time, I would watch that. In another world, I would watch. I just hope they're over 18. Goddamn, because that would make me a creep, right? In people's books. I hope those ladies, but they look like college netball, man. It looked like fucking college netball. So yeah, like fucking dope. Elegant. It's like ballet. But the thing about it, like, okay, I will still like trash them on why they don't shoot like outside the circle. Like, why do you always have to like get into like I would like to see some fucking goat of netball just come in and just start shooting from that, like, because that circle is like smaller than the one in basketball. Maybe it sets them off because the net doesn't have a net, but yeah, just shoot from the fucking, or does it have a net? I don't fucking know. Looking at the skirts, man. Oh, there it is. Oh shit. But yeah, nah. Like, just joking. Right? Oh, what about NHL hockey? All I have to say about NHL hockey is that the Atlantic Division is one fucking tight division, man. Right? The Atlantic Division, I think that's the division with the Panthers, Tampa Bay, and they're not even number one, right? Tampa Bay, the Boston Bruins, who are below Tampa Bay, right? And I just, yeah, so, dude, when I say tight, I just mean competitive, right? I don't know what's happening in the other conferences except the Pacific Division, the Western Conference, right? The Pacific Division, it seems to be also quite dope. And other than Colorado Avalanche doing their thing in whatever division they're in, yeah, the other division just, right? No, Atlantic Division fucking looks competitive. Pacific Division, also looks to be the shit. If I was to be following hockey, right, I'll be tuning into those games, those games. I tell you what, hockey is a funny sport. Like, they have weird ethics, man, right? They have fucking weird ethics. Anyway, fucking running out of things to fucking talk about. Other than the fact that I ask how you guys are doing, after selfishly going on my own for the last, hour, I don't know, right? Well, I hope you guys are well, right? I hope you guys tune in to tonight's, is it tonight? I think it's tomorrow. Tomorrow there's UEFA Champions League game, second leg going on. I think Liverpool is playing. They must seal the deal to go to the final, man. Right? And we have finals everywhere, man. We have finals in the NBA. We have finals in the European Premier League soccer/football division until the USA and England face off with each other in the World Cup finals. Right? To determine what I'm gonna fucking call the sport, man. Or who the fuck has fucking bragging rights over the name, man. Right? Because the population, dude. I don't know, like, the population for the USA is like 300 and something million, For the UK it's like 45, 55 million, somewhere around there, right? So, the USA have a strong case for calling it soccer. Unless the population that actually follows soccer is actually like 10 people in out of 315 million. Yeah, now we have a problem. But anyway, looking forward to that World Cup game, man. There's a bunch of National League friendly that's gonna be like happening between then, after like these 4 games of the Premier League. After the title is done, man, after all the drama has been settled, the dust has settled, right? No, guys, that's been episode 11 of the Fixasport, right, podcast. And please tune in for episode 12. If these episodes are too long, we'll start, making shorts on what we think you might want to hear. Maybe it will incite you to listen to the whole fucking podcast. And let us know if you're doing better by subscribing, liking, and sharing the podcast. And that's it from us. Hope to see you, I don't know, in a couple of days, maybe, maybe tomorrow. We don't know. That's it. And we out. See you guys then.